Stefan's recruitment, what that was like for you?
To be honest, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, it's more fun that we got him in the end, but a lot of it is the relationships and the recruiting. Initially, it's identifying kids and then seeing if they're a good fit and seeing if they have any interest in you. And then the longer the recruiting process goes, it becomes you get to know the kid and the family and the coaches. And I think we're pretty realistic. There's a lot of other great schools and a lot of other great options. So when another school comes into play, we don't really take the approach of, I believe you're looking, because if you look at it realistically, you're looking at a great school and a successful head coach and a good program and they got good academics, and yeah, I can see why you would be interested. So we more take an approach, like Coach said, that we keep trying to convince them that, he always talks about good, better, best, that hey, it's not good or bad, they're pretty good. We want to convince you we're a little bit better than they are. So, and the time it takes and the relationships you build, it becomes pretty fun. And obviously, if you get the win in the end, it's even more fun. So, to me, it was an enjoyable process. And the fact that it's a battle, Coach Kelly doesn't mind rolling up his sleeves and none of his assistants, that we're going to get in there and fight. And if you don't win, you don't win. But we're not going to go down without a fight.
Does it feel like a game sometimes when you're going after these elite defensive linemen that everybody wants? Does it kind of get you?
I think it's harder than a game to be football. Okay. The game of football, I think, is a lot easier than the game of recruiting, really. Hopefully, I think you'll win a lot more battles on the field than the recruiting. The percentage of wins are few and far between when you start last January with your board and then you're trying to get 20 to 25 kids. Well, there's hundreds, almost thousands of kids initially you're making inquiries on. So if you have to have the realism of you're going to have a lot more losses than wins, and if you can't handle that, you're probably not going to have a good recruiting staff. So it can be frustrating at times. We always talk about it. Recruiting, there's no good news, there's no bad news, there's just news. And if you can handle it that way, you can kind of keep moving forward. If everything's a higher and a low, which if we just read what all you guys write, every day is, one, and you're reporting it day to day, we're living it day to day, so you hear, even as of last night, you flip on Rivals and Big Two, it's Muggs on the front page, the guy most likely not to sign with this,
Yeah.
That's how I go to bed last night, that's how our whole staff goes to bed, and again, I have no problem with them putting it, and again, obviously a kid had flipped back and it made sense and you're battling the whole time. So it's not even but it's still tough to go to sleep then. That's, that's the last picture I got before I go to bed. It's not wonderful,
Yeah.
So.
Coach, and when the things that don't come in right away, early in the morning,
There's always anxiety on site. I had anxiety, every year. My last stop, there was anxiety. You always want I think this class we felt pretty good. It's not like you talked to them last Wednesday and then you just hope the paper comes in a week later. There's constant communication, and we had a plan. For the people at the All-Star game, they're not even in their hometown. They're in Austin, Texas, and Stefan's was a little more difficult because his mom was in Monroe and he was in Austin, Texas, which now adds some more demographics to the solution. You got to get faxes with the same signature on it. So, and then the power goes out and you just kind of laugh like, DP said it best. That's kind of fitting way to end the recruiting year. We got 3 kids sitting in a room in Austin, Texas, waiting to sign in faxes. We actually got some of the faxes in from Austin, and it got shut down in the middle. And we had George's, we didn't have Josh's. You're kidding. Why is George on the board? And if you look at the times that the kids committed, how did George and Josh commit 40 minutes apart? Well, because the power went out between the 2 faxes, and it's like just kind of par for the course at times.